turn into a human maraca sometimes, like, to where your bow is just shaking so much. And then you have like all of these bad mental thoughts like, oh my gosh, I totally blew that section. Why didn't I play that right? What's wrong with me? Why can't I'm a, musician. Why can't I do this? I practiced for, is there something wrong with me? It really kind of, started taking a big, I don't, yeah, it really started taking a big toll on me mentally because, when you go through all of these problems, you kind of start to be like, well, let me ask people about this. And I would talk to professors, I would talk to musical therapists, and they'd all be like, you know, just practice until you don't feel nervous. And, that works to a certain extent. But if you're like me and you do practice for your professors, for your friends, and they say, yeah, this sounds great, maybe fix this one thing here. You're ready for this audition. You're ready for this recital. And then you get up there, you're fine backstage, you walk on stage, and suddenly it's like you've never looked at the material in your life. And when it happens over and over and over again, it is just, it's so frustrating. And, when no one was giving you answers for it, it was just like the most frustrating thing ever, which is why I started like doing my own research on it. Yeah. So I did a research paper on it last year, 2 years ago or something, where I kind of just looked more in depth of to why performance anxiety happens and like different ways to treat it. And so for me, I got a life coach to help me with like the mental area of things, like good mental talk, like getting rid of like limiting beliefs, like things that you think about yourself that are not true, like, oh, this is trash, they hate me, really bad beliefs. Because performance anxiety, it's like, it's two different things. It's the mental side of things and the physical side of things. Yeah, I've talked everyone's ear off about this, So I did the mental side of things. And then I also started experimenting with like physical aids. So, like, I talked to my doctor and he gave me some beta blockers to try, help stave off the shaking and, like just really help the physical side of things because that's another problem area. And, there's a problem if you're just standing there in an orchestra audition and your heart rate like shoots up to 185 and your ears are ringing and you're like, oh, wow, no wonder I didn't feel good during that. Yeah, so for me, I just recently started trying beta blockers because I really wanted to get the mental side of that area looking a lot better, which you absolutely have to do. You need to have good self-talk because that can be just as much of a crux. But yeah, so they did start working a bit. I'm still experimenting with them, different like dosages and like learning when I need them, when I don't. But it definitely did help eliminate the shaking or like a lot of the physical manifestations with that. So it definitely has worked. Well, now that's the thing. What works for me, or is starting to work, um, it doesn't work for everyone because everyone is different. Everyone has different performance anxiety struggles. Some people, they eat a banana and chocolate and that's their solution. Other people, they need to try beta blockers. They need to talk to a life coach about it. For me, I had to try both things, but you just need to figure out what works best for you. And the main thing is to know that you're not alone because performance anxiety is something that feels so taboo and it feels like, you know, you're alone in this. I felt nuts. I felt like I'm just not supposed to be a musician. And then when I started seeing, while reading and researching other people's stories of what they went through and the things that helped them, it made me know that I'm not alone with this and that you can get help. It's real. It's a real phenomenon. Your body is reacting to something. It's not your fault. And for me, that was more comforting than anything else. So there's always help, and for me, beta blockers, at least for right now, is a good bridge to get over past trauma of performances and like feelings of self-doubt because we're musicians, we're always comparing ourselves, out there. Yeah, so I think tonic has really helped me a lot to be able to, open up my practice room to people and to make new friends and like be able to practice or show my worst parts of practice to people without feeling like I need to be perfect. Because classical music, you have the you have the notion that you need to be perfect. That's your baseline. And that's not true. So this has given me, a place to not be perfect and to work on things and to meet new people who are in the same boat as me and on the same journey as me in different areas, and all of that kind of thing. So it's been really comforting to, you know, always have people to cheer you on when you need it because everyone needs friends. Everyone needs a support group, especially musicians. We live our lives in a practice room. So, yeah, yeah, of course. No, I'm like, I always want to talk to people about this stuff because it's been so much to me to get help on it. So I always want to help others. Oh yeah, sure, go ahead. Feel free to use anything. It's it's always I just want to encourage others that you can get help and that you're not alone. You can get through this. I'm getting through it. I'm not through it yet, but it's gotten a lot better. So I'm hopeful. But yeah. Oh, yeah. No, some of the people that I've recommended Tonic to are on here. One of my friends, she's on here. I just recommended it to her like 2 weeks ago and she downloaded the app and she's like, "Oh my gosh, this is the coolest thing ever. Like I'm giving it to my students, and I'm checking this thing out. It's like, wow, this makes me want to practice, and it's really fun. I've almost used Tonic for a year, so I'm almost there. Yeah, yeah, she's in the group chat talking. I'm hyping her up. But yeah, I would recommend it to anyone. Everyone has their different practice techniques, but yeah, of course. Thanks for stopping by. That was so fun to see you here. I guess I actually need to go practice now. But yeah, thanks, Ray. I'll see you.